Sleeping, sleeping enough, sleeping enough, eating healthy, having good relationships, having peace in your home, meditating, being successful at school, not being too much in stress. That helps your mind to be peaceful, to be powerful. And when your mind is peaceful and powerful, then you get your immediacy and correct emotions. And these immediacy, which means being fast and correct, all right? Being fast and correct is called immediacy. So as soon as there is a problem or as soon as there is danger, you can act fast and it's correct and it's helpful. All right. So for that, your mind needs to be fresh and sharp. You can achieve that by sufficient sleep, by healthy food, by correct relationships, by success in school and with your family and so on. So then your mind is fresh. When it is fresh, it can act fast and effectively. And also your emotions will be wise emotions. It will be the emotions of loving kindness, of compassion, of altruistic joy. So you rejoice when someone else is successful instead of jealousy. And also equanimity, understanding that things are the way they are. We cannot do much. We cannot do more than we can. All right. So when you have immediacy, you're effective and fast in your correct solutions. When you have emotions, the correct emotions that help others, that do not harm, then you may also master delayed gratification. What is delayed gratification? This is based on an experiment with little kids, 3 years old kids, 3 years or 5 years old. These kids, one by one, were invited to a room where they had one marshmallow. And the researcher says, "Oh, dear kid, you can eat the marshmallow, or you can wait 3 minutes, not eat the marshmallow, and you will get a second marshmallow. And then you can gobble them both." So then the researcher left, and they had a camera watching the kid. What will the kid do now? Will the kid eat the marshmallow, or will they not eat the marshmallow? Some kids didn't eat the marshmallow, so they got the second marshmallow. Some kids didn't care, just ate the marshmallow and go. Some kids took the marshmallow and like that, 3 minutes, a little bit of stuff. Some kids were like a little bit eating the marshmallow from like inside. So like they eat the marshmallow but don't eat the marshmallow. Waiting 3 minutes is so hard, you know. And one professor or somebody said, imagine it's like for adults when they want to get coffee and they have to wait 3 minutes for the coffee. Wait 3 minutes with the coffee, then you get the second one. No. So delayed gratification is when you delay, when you wait for the next, for a little later, so that you can get more pleasure than you get now. All right. So that's like you have to go to school, or you don't go to school, but instead you go to hang out with your friend. Which is better? Well, better is to go to school and then hang out with your friend much longer and with a lot of money and with peace later than going to school, hanging out with your friend, not having any money, not being peaceful, and having a lot of problems. So delayed gratification is when you wait for the later time to enjoy more than you would enjoy now. All right. And Buddhism is all about delayed gratification. In Buddhism, there is no success without delayed gratification. All Buddhist practice is about delayed gratification. All Buddhism is about waiting and postponing your pleasure for next time, and therefore getting 1,000,000,000 times more pleasure than you would get now. So all Buddhism is entirely dependent on delayed gratification. So in Buddhism, rather than taking all money you have and enjoying sensual pleasures, you're encouraged to take the money, buy food, and donate it to virtuous people. Well, then you didn't get anything. No, you actually did. You got good deed. It's called merit. MERIT, merit. And this merit can bring you 100,000 times, or 100,000 times, 100,000 times, or innumerably more benefit than that what you actually gave. So if you take substantial meal that you could eat yourself, but you don't eat it, you give it to an animal, then you're supposed to enjoy for the next 100 lives abundance of long life, beauty, pleasure, power, and intelligence. That's a big, how to say that? That's a pretty good revenue, you know? It's a good deal. It's a good deal giving one meal and getting millions of meals. And long life, you know, and pleasure and beauty and all that kind of thing. That's if you give it to an animal. Now, if you give it to an evil person, you get 1,000 lives filled with these benefits. If you get it to a virtuous person, you get 100,000 times. If you give it to somebody who's not a Buddhist, but they meditate very ardently, for example, a Muslim or Christian, they meditate, and they have achieved deep levels of concentration in their meditation. You get 100,000 times, 100,000 times that benefit. And if you give it to somebody who's working hard to become enlightened, which is, according to commentaries, all of the monks who live according to the rules, or moreover to somebody who's enlightened, wow, then that is innumerable. So that's delayed gratification at its lowest level. Think about the level of morality, all right? The morality when we do not kill, we don't steal, we don't commit adultery, we don't tell lies, we don't drink alcohol. Here, it's especially adultery. Look at that. Adultery is the number one thing about sensual pleasures. So then when the husband or wife, they fall in love with another woman, okay? Or with another man, of course, if it's a woman. Actually, it has been found that about 50% of men and 50 out of all of the adulterers in the world, all the cheaters in the world, 50%, about 50% are men and about 50% are women. So it's not like that just the men are bad, okay? So it's the same thing. So equally, you need to be careful. Now, the ladies or the men who then have sex with someone who's not their husband or wife after they are married, then that's bad. That's not delayed gratification. All right. That's a hastened suffering. Hastened suffering. Instead, if they wait and they are faithful to their spouse, regardless what their spouse is doing, well, then in their next life or even in this life, there is a higher probability that their spouse will be faithful. And if they are not faithful, doesn't matter. Probably it's because this one was not faithful in a past life. So you don't want to do it again. You don't want to cheat again so that again you will get a spouse who is not faithful to you in this life and in the next life. So delayed gratification is of utmost importance in Buddhism. It's the ultimate core of all Buddhist practice. And then after you delay your gratification, you delay it until the moment of your death. When you die, you're supposed to be born in heaven, where you can enjoy the sensual pleasures not for 50 years, not for 100 years, not for 200 years or 500 years or 1,000 years or 10,000 years. You can enjoy the sensual pleasures continuously for hundreds and hundreds of thousands of years, or for millions or billions of years. And that's definitely a good deal. That's definitely better than 2 marshmallows. Okay? So now you're having 1 marshmallow. What shall you do? All right? Always think about it like that.